right, dear friends, welcome to Wednesday's study, God's Righteous Wrath, God's Righteous Wrath. Take a moment, click on the links below our videos if you want to be encouraged, if you want to be prayed for, studied with, encouraged in your walk with God. Click the links. All right. Well, today we're looking at God's anger. God is upset. God's righteous wrath. Wrath is not always bad. Wrath, legitimate righteous indignation at sin and wrong, is something that God teaches and is something that God embodies. He will not let evil prosper forever, right? God will address it, and he begins to address it here. In Exodus chapter 32, verses 9 to 29, we're told the story of Moses' interaction with God. God, these are your people. These are your people. These are not my people. I know you're trying to give them to me, but you were the one who brought them out of Egypt. These are your people, God, and you need to do something about them. Moses is not willing that God destroy them. In fact, God says, listen, I would destroy them and make of you a great nation. I will take your descendants and I'll build another nation. And Moses says, no. How is it going to look to everybody looking on all around if you destroy the very people that you made, the people that you delivered out of Egyptian captivity? How is it going to look? You're going to look bad, God. You're going to look real bad. Your reputation is about to be ruined. He brought them out in the wilderness and then he killed them. That's going to be bad. So Moses is remonstrating with God. He's in a conversation with God, pleading with God to please have mercy. And then the Bible says in Exodus chapter 32 and verse 14 that God relents. Isn't that something? Moses prevails with God. He prevails with God. That's how powerful his relationship was with God. He prevails, God relents, and decides not to harm his people at the request and at the pleading, at the intercession of Moses. But Moses is not done. Moses has the 2 tablets of stone, the Decalogue. He comes down off the mountain, sees the scene, smashes the idol, destroys the 10 commandments. God has to rebuke him for that and tells him, listen, you're going to have to fashion another one. You chisel it and I'll write it. So God rebukes him for that. Moses is indignant at what has happened. And he asks his brother, his older brother, he asks Aaron, how did this happen? How did you lead the people into such deep sin and apostasy? And Aaron says, listen, these people, they were bad. They were upset. They were mad at me. He feared for his own sin. Listen, they were going to tear me apart unless I did something. And in that moment, because he was afraid, he gave in. But then he lies. He says, listen, I just threw the precious metal into the fire and out popped the calf. It was a miracle. What an affront to God, right? He's claiming this is a miracle. This negative apostasy, this act of idolatry is a miracle. When he knew that it was not a miracle, he fashioned it, right? But he has forgotten the mighty acts of God, the real miracles of God, the real things that God has done. Does that happen to us? Where we look upon stuff that we've done like it's a miracle, when in fact, we forget the things that really God has done that were the true miracles in our lives. Powerful study today, God's righteous wrath. God bless you.